Test, test, test. Going live here. All right. Do a little calibration check. All right. Good to left. Good to right. Alrighty. It looks like we are set. Need a scoreboard set to 20 minutes. And we look like we're good. Off to the sponsor video, and I will join you at the end of the warm-up from the start of the game. All right, everyone, just the final seconds of the warm-up here. Welcome back to the Grant Harvey Center in Fredericton. Rematch this morning of the Down East Stars from PEI and the Western Flames. Down East Stars, winners yesterday. Flames looking to bounce back this morning. We'll keep an eye here and let you know who the starting goaltenders are in a moment once I see who it is. Done with the start yesterday for the Stars, so I expect Young might be getting the start today, but both seem to have been taking shots during the warm-up, so we'll see who is indeed in net. And for the Flames, yesterday it was Arbeau. Yeoman's nursing a little bit of an injury, so I'm not sure if she will take the day off or take a stab at it. So we'll find out here in a minute who the Flames starting goalie is. After yesterday's game, no change in the standings. Down East Stars still sitting in 5th. A couple points up on the Cape Breton Lynx and a couple games behind the Greenfoot Capitals. The Stars just 1 point behind the Greenfoot Capitals in the standings, but Greenfoot has 2 games at hand over the Stars. And the Flames sitting in 8th of 9 positions, just ahead of the Fundy Kraken and just a single point behind the Western Wolves. And we're ready to go. So our starting goaltenders are indeed Tegan Young. Tegan or Tegan? Tegan Young for the Stars. Shot right off the bat by Polchis. Johnstone going for a rebound. Young tested right away. And it is indeed Yeomans in net for the Flames. Johnstone wins that face-off in the Stars zone. Shot from the point. That misses wide right. Held in at the blue line by Kimball. Kimball takes a shot. Young directs that one off to the side. Flames 2 shots here 20 seconds into the game. Shot attempt again. That one doesn't make it through. Johnstone digging in the corner. Johnstone gets it back to Polchis. Polchis and Johnstone digging below the goal line there. Johnstone still pressuring. Comes back to Polchis. Polchis tries to sharp angle shot. Fanned on that, and the Stars exit the zone. 3 of the Stars headed to the bench for a change. Lineup note here for the Flames. Audrey Daigle still sitting this one out. And 2 affiliates are in the lineup. Sadie Mann, who we've seen several times. I do believe she should be wearing number 5. Is what she's worn when she's in the lineup. And Taylor Fox should be wearing number 13, I was told. So we'll keep an eye for the 2 affiliates. Both of them are U18 AAA players on the... I was going to call them the Phantoms. I believe they are officially all the Storm now instead of the Phantoms. I always stick Phantoms in front of that because it was that for quite a long time. Either way, that's where most of our affiliates are from. A couple exceptions to that. Maggie McLaughlin affiliated from, and she plays for Oromocto High. Puck into the neutral zone. Gauvin's on it. Gauvin tries chipping it into the Stars end successfully. And a couple of Flames headed to the bench while Kate Cook puts pressure on it by herself. Puck into the neutral zone. Here's Waterhouse. Second game back after... how long was she out? 6 or 7 weeks. Broken arm. Looks pretty good though. Coming back. Puck chipped down low by Citrome. Waterhouse below the goal line, goes cross ice to a partner. Long cross ice pass, misses the target, picked up in the neutral zone by Lutley. Lutley dishes it back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick throws it into the middle for Mullins. Here come the Stars. Shot, scores, top corner. Quick transition, 2-on-1. And the Stars are on the board here at the 17:27 mark of the first period. On what looks like it was their first registered shot of the game as well. Johnstone Eason out here with, looks like it's Smith on the left this time. Center ice face-off, won by the Stars. Chipped into the neutral zone. Boursier will whip that back down. Young watches it go below the goal line. Smith knocked down. Johnstone's going to chase it along the boards. Stars exit. Mullins chasing on Boursier. Boursier cuts back, sends it up the left side. Johnstone with it. Johnstone gets into the neutral zone. Easton's after it. Citrone's there first, though, and shovels it into the Flames zone. Kimball, some time below the goal line. Gives it up to Boursier. Boursier up the left side. Centering attempt by Smith. Turned over in the neutral zone. Back on the stick of Citrone. Here's Lutley. Oh, sorry, that's Player. Player sends it back to Citrone. Citrone shot through everybody. That misses high right. Here's Johnstone. Johnstone's going to carry it in the neutral zone. I'm going to guess shovel it in and go for a change, and that is indeed what happens. Nelson putting pressure on it while the Flames change up. Nelson's joined by Polchis. Polchis picks it off in the middle, takes a shot. Young will hang on to that one. And we're at the 16:07 mark of the first period. Stars leading 1-0 on their lone shot of the game. Flames with 3 shots so far, 2 of them coming right out of the gates. Here's Folks. Folks shot attempt. Bobbling in the slot. Shot. Rebound. Scores! I think that was Polchis hanging out over there. Polchis, benefactor of a rebound and bobbling puck beside the net, chips that past Young, and we're tied up at 1 apiece at 15:57 here in the first period. Lawrence takes that face off, wins it. Now Dooland. She's knocked off the puck. Here comes Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick chips it into the corner, chases it herself. She's going to pin Gauvin. Here's Sommers. Sommers tries sending it up the glass, but that stays in. Now Feltmate. Feltmate tries reversing it behind the net. It's picked off, but she gets it back. Here's Sommers again up the right-hand side. Gets into the neutral zone. Now here's Lawrence. Lawrence has Dooland and Sommers. Lawrence takes a shot, bounces off to the corner. So we have Polchis from Nelson and Folks. Is the goal for the Flames. Tie game here at the 15:05 mark of the first period. Shots on goal showing 4-1 in favor of the Flames. And we'll have a face-off to the left of Young. Johnstone taking it. Johnstone's got affiliate Taylor Fox on her left and Kate Cook on her right. Sadie Mann here on the point. So 2 affiliates on the ice for the Flames. And Waterhouse, the other defense out there. Here comes Fitzpatrick. The other Fitzpatrick. 2 Fitzpatricks on this team. Bella Fitzpatrick, 17, defense. And Raina Fitzpatrick. I never inquired to if they are siblings or related or just pure coincidence, not sure. Here comes Walker. Walker dances past Waterhouse and guts the shot. It's held out though. Here's Walker again. She puts it below the goal line. Now Cook. Cook's knocked off the puck. Now Johnstone. Johnstone fans on it. Cook knocks it free. Johnstone heads to the bench. Cook's going to carry that in. Cook drops it off for Fox. Puck into the neutral zone. Both teams changing. Flurry of action in front of the benches here. Puck into the Flame zone. It's going to be recovered by Kimball. Here's Kimball. Kimball looks up the right side. Gets it to Eason, but she's knocked off and comes back the other way. Now Borsay tries sending it up the left side. That's going to be held in again. Back below the goal line again. Now Kimball. Kimball sends it back up the right side. Here's Eason. Eason can't get it out either. Arms up for a penalty. Nope, sorry. Just a high stick on the puck. Sorry, no penalty. I saw the arm go up. I didn't see the high stick. So we're at the 13-13 mark. First period. Face-off coming to the right of Yeomans. Lawrence is going to be in to take that. Face-off won by the Stars. Shot through bodies. Makes its way to Yeomans, who directs it off to the corner. Lutley working along the boards. Held in by the Stars. Here's Fitzpatrick. Throws it towards the net. That one's knocked away by Gauvin. Now Nelson on the right side sends it to the neutral zone. Back to Gauvin. Gauvin chips it up the wall to Polchis. Polchis going to put it into the Stars' end. Picked up by Fitzpatrick. Shot by Gauvin. It's tipped. Puck along the wall. Lawrence battling for it by herself. 1-on-3. Lutley comes out with it. Lutley looks up the right-hand side. Misses the target. Gauvin's going to try and fire again. Hits shin pads. Now that she backhands it towards the net. Young directs that to the corner. Shots on goal have evened up a little bit here now. 5-4 in favor of the Flames. Gauvin in the neutral zone. She gains the red line, fires it down. She's headed to the bench for a change. Johnstone holds it in at the blue line. Finally comes out into the neutral zone. Now Dooland grabs it. Dooland. She's knocked off the puck. Battling for it in the corner. She gets it back. Now Sommers. Sommers trying to find Mann. Gets it back to Mann. Mann bobbled it a little bit. Now it's on the stick of Johnstone. Johnstone shot. Just knocked wide. Now back to Waterhouse. Waterhouse shot. She misses the target. Johnstone recovers it in the corner. Johnstone's flanked by two here. Still with it though. Trying to knock it free for Dooland, but Stars finally come out with it into the neutral zone. Here's Mann. Mann in the neutral zone. She's peeled off the puck. Walker chips it into the Flame zone. No icing. Waterhouse will recover it. 11-minute even mark of the first period. Tie game here, 1-1. Second game of a two-game set between the Down East Stars and the Western Flames. 3-1 yesterday for the Stars. Young will hang on to that one. Pretty close game. Couple power play markers, and I think it's fair to say a couple nice lucky bounces on behalf of the Stars, and they got that game. Flames looking to bounce back. After losing a series of games last weekend on the island in the showcase. Flames dropped all four in that set. And again yesterday here to the Stars. Looking to get into the wing column. Long stretch pass looking for Cook in the middle. Kind of went through her feet. Puck down into the Stars' corner. Back to the point, Kimball. Kimball throws it towards the net, but that's stopped by the Stars. Here's Fitzpatrick. She sends it up into the middle. Mullins. Mullins by herself. 1-on-4. There's Fox. Fox carried it to the neutral zone. Folks going to backhand that, go for a change. Eason, the lone flame, putting pressure on it. Lawrence shows up on the scene, but the puck's into the neutral zone. Arms up for icing. That's going to come back to the Stars' end, and we are just a little over past the halfway mark of the first period. 9:26. Shots on goal are 7-4 in favor of the Flames at the moment. Flames would certainly love to have a great game here today before heading to the Toronto area on Thursday morning for a tournament. Two-nation tournament in officially Brampton. This one is a new experience for us. Usually, or I guess the past few years, they've gone to Ottawa or Quebec for tournaments. This year, testing the waters in Brampton. I believe some other teams from the league are going to be there as well. Opportunity to take up a PWHL game as well on Thursday night. The team will be attending the Ottawa and Toronto game. Looking forward to that experience. Puck's down in the corner. Lawrence has it. Smith is with her. Smith and Lawrence along the wall. It's knocked free. Stars are going to be there first. Fitzpatrick with it. Fitzpatrick's looking up ice. Fitzpatrick shovels it up the middle. Misses Lutley. Goes all the way down. That'll go for icing. Yeomans watches that one just slide past her. And we'll have a face-off back to the right of Young. Johnstone in to take this face-off. She's got Nelson on her right. Pulchy's on the left. And looks like Mann and Waterhouse on the point. Young on that icing. Stopped to adjust her mask. Johnstone wins the face-off over to the side, but that's quickly recovered by the Stars. And now Mann will dump it in. Flames need to tag up. Here come the Stars. Walker. Walker's by herself. Walker still cutting through. Gets a shot off. Not much, but Yeomans has to direct that off to the side. Now Waterhouse shovels it over to the corner. She's pinned by Johnstone. Now Waterhouse. Waterhouse along the left side to Pulchy's. Pulchy's has Nelson going. Nelson's going to have to put the brakes on. Stay on side. Nelson heads to the bench for a change. So does Pulchy's. Puck coming back into the Flame zone. Knocked off the stick of Walker. Dooland. Dooland's going to chip that in. Somers. Somers has it. Somers looking to center it for Dooland. Young will hang on to that one. And we are at 7:25 of the first period. Shots on goal are now 8-5 in favor of the Flames. Face off won by Folks. Here's Somers. Somers fires it from a long, sharp angle. Hits Young right in the logo, and she'll hang on to that. 7:17, and Folks will take that face off again. This time won by the Stars, but Folks is right in after it, recovered by Somers. Somers is pinned by McWegan. Folks had a look at the top right corner. I could see where she was aiming from here, but she missed. Puck's coming back to the Flame zone. No icing on the play. Kimball's there first. Kimball puts the brakes on behind the net, gives it to Folks. Puck into the neutral zone for Bradley. Bradley goes cross ice. Hits the shin pads of Dooland. Dooland has it. Dooland Looks like Fitzpatrick got a stick on her as she tried to make the shot. Unable to get a whole lot on it. Bradley through the neutral zone. Gives it up to Mullins. Mullins drops it off. Shot directed to the corner by Yeomans. Flames again in the neutral zone. Lawrence, she's knocked off the puck. Here comes Gauvin. Gauvin by herself. Tries to go wide on Fitzpatrick. Chips it around in the corner. Now Cook with it. Cook's knocked off the puck. Here's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick sends it into the neutral zone. Flames regroup. Here's Gauvin. Sends out the left side. Back to Gauvin. Gauvin mishandles the puck. She's knocked off. 2-on-1 for the Stars. Off the post by Mullins. Long shot, but that hits the net, so no icing. Young had to play it. Citrome behind the net, pressured by Johnstone. Johnstone knocks it free, recovered by Citrome. Here comes Walker. Walker tried putting it ahead for McInnes. Back on the stick of the Stars. Cross-ice pass for Walker is missed. Now Mann. Mann fires it up through the middle. Stars whip that one in. Go for a change. Player in the corner. Johnstone picks it out. Up the right side. Johnstone from the knees pushes it up to Nelson. Nope, sorry, that's Summers. Smith, sorry. Gee. 7-17. 7 is Smith. 17 is Nelson. Long wide pass. Here's Polchis. Polchis cut into the middle. She takes a shot. And she scores! Young couldn't quite squeeze the wickets there. I thought she had it, but it slowly trickled through. And at 4:16 of the first period, the Flames jump out to a lead with another Polchis goal. Shots on goal, 11-6 in favor of the Flames. Puck in the Stars zone. Fitzpatrick with it. Doolan battling her. Lawrence in to help. Finally comes back to the point. Shot. That misses the net. Kimball with the pinch attempt. Gets past here. Here comes Mullins. Mullins is by herself. She gets past Boursier. Lawrence is there to help. Now Boursier with it. Lawrence fishes it out. Doesn't get it out of the zone though. Mullins in the middle by herself. Throws it towards the net. That misses wide. Here's Mullins again. Mullins dangling with it. Tries to get in. Still with it. Mullins backhands it. Picked up by Lawrence. Lawrence in the corner. Tries going up the wall. Back on the stick of Mullins again. Now Bradley at the point. Here comes Dooland, 1-on-1. Dooland looking to go inside out. And I believe Fitzpatrick got a penalty as she was heading to the bench for an interference call. It is indeed Fitzpatrick. Raina Fitzpatrick. Both teams were changing while Dooland was headed up there, and I didn't see what happened, but interference the call, so I'm guessing little tangle up, headed to the bench. Folks wins the face-off. Back to Feltmate. Feltmate across ice to Gauvin. Comes back to Gauvin. Gauvin over to Feltmate. Feltmate shot. Knocked off to the corner. Recovered by Folks. Folks is pressured. She dumps it in the corner for Cook. Cook. Cook's taken down behind the net. She gets it out to Folks, though. Folks gets a little chip shot on it. Shots on goal. Flames now have the Stars doubled up 12-6 in the shot department. 20 seconds gone in the Flames power play. 2:44 left in the period. Puck comes back to Feltmate. Feltmate shot attempt. That hits the stick of Player. And is back around the side of the wall. Back to Feltmate again. Feltmate goes across to Gauvin. Gauvin along the wall. Back to Feltmate. Feltmate shot. Hit a shin pad along the way. Ends up in the corner. Now Cook. Cook behind the net. Gives it to Polchis. Polchis tries centering it. Folks just out of her reach, and the puck will come to the neutral zone. And the Flames power play looking to change up. 1:06 on that power play still. 2:06 in the period. Feltmate hanging out behind the net, looking to break things out. Long cross ice pass for Lawrence. Lawrence has Smith. And Dooland. Loose puck on the side of the net. Dooland swinging at it. And Young covers that one up. Let me get the clock back in sync here. It is 1:48 remaining in the first period. 44 seconds left on the Flames power play. Lawrence in to take that face-off, and she wins it. Comes back to Boursier, to Kimball. Kimball takes the long shot. Loose puck. Ref on the far side probably couldn't see it. I think that puck was still loose. 34 now left on the Flames power play. We'll have that face-off over again. Dooland with it. Dooland tries shooting through everybody's feet. Doesn't make its way through. Now Boursier with it. Boursier battling, keeps it in. Lawrence pushes it ahead now. That one gets outside the blue line. Boursier has to regroup with Kimball. Kimball up the right side to Dooland. Here's Dooland. Dooland looking to break towards the net. Still with it. Tries cutting back. She's pinned and knocked off the puck. Lawrence just jumps on it to help. Lawrence gives it back to Dooland. And the penalty has expired. Back to even strength. Stars successfully kill the penalty. Walk out front. Trying to stuff it in. Young covers up that one. 56.1 left on the clock for the first period. Flames unable to capitalize on that power play, but some sustained pressure for most of the power play. Shots on goal are 15-6 now in favor of the Flames. Ref over to say something to the Flames bench. I'm not sure what it was. I'm not sure if he said something to the coach or to a player. Johnstone in the corner. Johnstone knocks it free. Johnstone behind the net. Wraparound attempt. Polchis takes a stab at it. And Young will cover that one up again. Johnstone, Easton, and Polchis all kind of scrumming around the net there. Face off to the left of Young. Johnstone in to take it for the Flames. Tied up in feet. Stars pick it out. Here comes Walker. Walker, she's taken wide. She misses a shot. Walker had Player breaking hard to the right side there. On the back door. Here's Johnstone. White ice in front of Johnstone. She's going to carry it. Gives it to Smith. And that is blown down offside. I think Easton on the right side got a little excited and went offside. 15 seconds left in the period, and we'll have a neutral zone face-off. Folks is going to take that. And McQuegan for the Stars. Folks chips that into the corner. Up the wall. Boursier has it. Boursier just chips it forward. Here's Sommers. Sommers softly throws it into the zone, and that's going to do it for the period. And it is 2-1 for the Flames after the first period. 2 Polchis goals and 16-6 your shots on goal in favor of the Flames. I will send you to our sponsor reel and rejoin you for the start of the second period. All right, everyone, welcome back. Second period, just about to get underway here. Team's just waiting for the Zamboni doors to close. Officials are on the ice. Flames leading 2-1 after the first period, 2 on 16 shots to the Stars' 1 shot. Polchis, both goals for the Flames, and I forget who scored the Stars' goal. I think it was it Mullins, possibly? Some scores from around the league yesterday. Rocket shut out the Kraken 5-0. Subway Selects 2-0 over the Capitals. And this one, an interesting one. Surge beat the Wolves 5-2. The interesting part is the shots on goal. The Surge, 61 shots on goal in that 5-2 game. Wolves with just 23 shots. That is a lot of shots. All right, we're ready to go. Johnstone's in to take the face-off. She's got Polchis on the left, and I can't see who's on the right. It is Nelson. Puck sent into the Star zone. Bradley's going to pick that up. Bradley, chased by Nelson. Now Polchis. She gets up the right-hand side. Puck is flipped into the Flames bench. And that face-off is going to be here in the neutral zone. Lutley wins that face-off. Into the neutral zone, picked up by Kimball. Now Mullins. Mullins chips it into the Flame zone. Lutley's after it. Now Johnstone. Johnstone turns it over. Lutley gets it back, centers it. Kimball just fires that, and it does make its way into the neutral zone. Fitzpatrick bounces it off. Here's Johnstone. Johnstone again, still with it. She's going to dump it and head for a change. All the Flames head to the bench. Now we have Dooland, Folks, and Sommers. Folks, Captain Folks of this team, with it. She's knocked off the puck by Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick through the neutral zone. She comes cross ice to Mullins. Mullins is offside. And we'll have a neutral zone face-off here. 18:47 in the second period. Shots on goal still 16-6 in favor of the Flames. Face-off by Folks against Player. Folks wins it. Into the neutral zone. Here's Sommers. Sommers loses the handle on it, backhands it into the Star zone. That's picked up by Citron, who wraps it around the wall. Gauvin steps in for a pinch. Still pinned along the wall. And that one, up in the air. Folks tried to grab it, but deflected it into the bench. So we'll have a face-off to the right of Young. Folks in to take it again against Lutley. Player. Folks and Player facing off. Player wins this one. Wraps it around the left-hand side. That's Walker. Centering puck picked off by Waterhouse and sent back into the Star zone. Citron's after it. Held in by Sadie Mann. Sadie Mann gets knocked past her. Here come the Stars. That was offside again. And we are at the 17:57 point here of the second period. We'll have a neutral zone face-off. Lawrence against McGuigan. McGuigan wins it. Comes across ice to Myers. Myers pushes it up into the Flame zone. Puck played by Yeomans. She looked like she wanted to grab it, but ended up just scooping it forward. Here's Fox. Taylor Fox, affiliate, wearing number 13. She's out here with Cook and Lawrence. Lawrence knocks it free. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence is peeled off the puck. Back up the wall. Kimball's going to hold it in. Kimball fires from the point. Somebody got a piece of that, but it winds up in the corner. Here's Fox. Fox walking out, tries backhanding it, misses the net. Deep pinch by Kimball, keeps it in. Stars get the control and carry it into the neutral zone. You're going to chip it forward. Icing's waved off there. Here's Lawrence in the neutral zone. Lawrence comes cross ice to Fox. Fox, long shot. Young will play that one. And the Stars come back the other way. Here's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick. She's driven into the corner. Held in by Fitzpatrick. Bella Fitzpatrick, the 17. Raina Fitzpatrick, 11. Puck down there. It was finally knocked free, but it was blown down. And we'll have a face-off in the Flame zone to the left of the Yeomans. Polchis, Nelson, Folks come onto the ice for the Flames. Lutley taking the face-off for the Stars. Face-off bounces over to the side wall, and Feltmate gets it behind the net. Now Nelson on the right-hand side. Nelson into the neutral zone. Lutley caught up to her pretty quick and knocked it free. Now in the corner, Polchis is there. Puck still contested here along the wall. Pinched by Gauvin. Held in. Here's Nelson. Nelson takes a swing at it. Folks right behind her, grabs the loose puck, takes a shot, ends up in the corner. Neutral zone puck, skips over the stick of Feltmate. Good back check by Folks to help recover there. Now into the neutral zone. Bradley sends it into the Flames' end. Feltmate gets it knocked off her. Back to Feltmate again. Feltmate up the right-hand side. This time makes it into the neutral zone. It's played by Citrome. Citrome tries sending it in. Feltmate grabs it down. Here's Feltmate. She's all by herself. She's going to send it deep and head to the bench for a change. Flames changing all 5 players. Here's Lawrence, Dooland, and Sommers. Waterhouse and Mann on the point. Sommers gets a stick on that. Walker dishes it back behind the net. Waterhouse holding the blue line, keeps it in. Here's Dooland. Dooland's walking in. Dooland gets past everybody. Backhand. Loose puck still. Ends up in the corner. Here's Walker. Walker's pinned by Lawrence. Now Sommers. Sommers tries giving it back to Lawrence. Not free. Here we go the other way. Player all by herself. Player scored 2 yesterday. Saved by Yeomans. A little bit of flurry of action at both ends there. Doolan cutting in with a couple whacks at it, then a breakaway the other way for Player. Loose puck in front. Bobbling puck in the crease. Flames are going to fire that one down. But it's going to hit Young, so no icing. 13:57 here in the second period. Kind of some end-to-end action here the last couple minutes. Shots on goal are now 20-11 in favor of the Flames. Puck wrapped around the side. Cook is going to be there. Cook sends it up ice for Johnstone. Johnstone bounces off her stick. Recovered by Cook. Cook and Johnstone at the blue line. Johnstone sends it in. Now Mullins. Mullins in the neutral zone. She chips it into the corner. Racing with Boursier. Boursier gets there first. Backhands it around. Gets past Kimball. But makes its way to Cook. Here's Cook. Cook in the neutral zone. Goes cross ice to Fox. Fox up the left side. Shot attempt fanned. Shot attempt 2. Hits the defender. Here's a pinch by Boursier. Boursier keeps it in. On the stick of Fox. Fox in the middle. Takes a shot that's deflected off to the corner. Fox again, still behind the net. Fox tries centering it with the backhand. Makes its way back to Boursier. Boursier, clapper attempt. Fanned on it. Boursier again. cross ice to Johnstone. Johnstone stick tied up. Lutley, she's chased by Folks. Now Smith here at the blue line. Smith, shot attempt. High stick on the puck. And that's going to be blown down. And finally a break in action at 12:22 of the second period. A little bit of a span there, no whistle. A lot of action going back and forth here. Young, the busier of the two goalies, facing 20 shots, and Yeoman's facing 11. Flames leading 2-1 here in the second game of the two-game weekend set. Flames looking for some much-needed success on a fairly lengthy losing skid. Here comes Walker. Walker breaks free of everybody. Yeomans gets that pad out again. Makes another save. That's 2 breakaways here in the last few minutes for the Stars. And 2 great saves by Yeomans. Breakaway by Player and then by Walker. Shot attempt. Yeomans looked like she was going to hang on to it, but it spits out. Here's Smith up the left side. She sends it down. That one's going to go for icing. And we'll have a face-off to the left of Yeomans. Captain Folks will take it against Player. And the Flames come out with the puck. Into the neutral zone. Along the wall. Somebody's looking for it. Flames get it. Feltmate whips that one in and heads to the bench. Here's Walker. Walker off balance, knocks it into the Flames' end, heads to the bench herself. Here's Mann. Sadie Mann through the middle. Sadie by herself. Long shot. She misses wide left. Came in with some speed. Mann steps up, looking for the shot. Fanned on it, went down. Lawrence recovered it. Puck still here in the slot, bobbling around. Nelson takes a backhander, just misses. Now in the corner, Polchis. It's going to go around the net. Citrome's going to be there. Citrome up the left-hand side. Held in by Kimball. Kimball takes a shot. Blockered into the corner by Young. Citrome again up the left-hand side. Going to be held in by Kimball. Kimball again. Sends it into the corner. Polchis takes a stab at it. Polchis along the wall. Sends it towards the net. Waterhouse. She sends it down low. Nelson gets past her. Here comes Guidon. Ginden. Sorry, can't quite roll that one out. Ginden, I think, is possibly the proper way. Here comes Johnstone. Johnstone gives it to Nelson. Nelson chips it, flipped into the corner. Johnstone's there first. Now Dooland has it. Dooland and Johnstone in the corner. Stars come out with it. Up the right side to Mullins. Mullins. Gauvin jumps on her, knocks her down. That's going to be a penalty. Hook, interference. We'll see what the call is. Penalty no matter which it is. And hook is indeed the call. So we have Gauvin headed to the box for a hook. And the Stars will go on the power play here at the 9:34 mark of the second period. Flames leading 2-1. Cook and Johnstone, your penalty killers, along with Boursier and Feltmate. Stars with control in the corner. Player sends it back to the point. Here's Larkin. Larkin back to Player. Comes free. That one's hammered out. Here's Johnstone going to put pressure on that. Fitzpatrick sets up behind Young. Fitzpatrick looking at options, comes up the left-hand side. Cook knocks that free. Now Johnstone shovels it into the corner. She's going to head to the bench for a change. She's replaced by Lawrence on the penalty kill. 40 seconds gone. Knocked free in front. Cook. And Young has to hang on to that one. Now Cook heads to the bench. And she's going to be joined by Nelson. Lawrence and Nelson, your penalty killers. Waterhouse and Mann on the point. Face off to the left of Young. Stars on the power play for 1:19 still. Stars win the face off. Lutley slows it down, looks up the middle. Here comes Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, she's carrying it in towards the net. He likes to hold it. Fitzpatrick, still with it. Goes cross ice. Shot attempt, that's broken up. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence eventually gets the puck deep there. She got flanked by 3 Stars. 50 seconds now left in the power play. And that puck is knocked into the Stars bench. And we are at the 8:19 mark of the second period. 45 seconds left on the Stars power play. Flames leading 2-1 on 21 shots, and now 13 shots by the Stars. Folks in to take the face-off. That's won by Lutley, though. Fitzpatrick tries sending it across to Mullins. Bounces in the air, but the Stars recover it. Larkin, she fires it into the Flames' end. Folks is going to be there first, gives it back to Kimball. Kimball back to Folks. Folks tries getting it out, but it's held in by Fitzpatrick. Shot from the point, blocked by Folks. Folks, opportunity to get that down, gets it in the neutral zone, but hits Player, and Player moves it back up. Now Fitzpatrick gains the blue line, drops it off for Lutley. Lutley to Fitzpatrick. Back to Larkin at the point. Larkin, shot through all of the traffic, makes his way into the corner. Stars behind the net. Back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, shot attempt. Bobbling through bodies. Again, rolls into the corner, and we're back to even strength at the 7:30 mark of the second period. Eason jumps on. Puck's in the corner. Flames now just looking to reset. That one should go for icing. Indeed it does. And we are at 17:15 here in the second period. 2-1 the score in favor of the Flames. Stars won yesterday, 3-1. Flames looking to bounce back and end a fairly lengthy losing streak. I actually don't know how many games off the top of my head. They lost yesterday, all 4 on the island, and then the 2 previous to that as well. So it could be as much as 7 or 8 game losing streak here going for the Flames. Looking for some success before heading to Toronto to a tournament next week. Flying up on Thursday morning. Team outing to a PWHL game on Thursday night. And games starting on Friday. Here's the Stars. Citrone puts the brakes on, but she's knocked off the puck. Coming back the other way. Here's Fox. Fox tries centering it for Cook. Doesn't get to her. Cook in the neutral zone. Gives it back to Gauvin. Gauvin tried pushing it forward. Hit shin pads. Stars bench didn't like that. Couple referees on the bench had their arms up for a penalty. Here's Feltmate. Feltmate wraps it around the wall. Fox on the right-hand side. Fox chips it in the neutral zone. Johnstone's going to try and put pressure on it, but Fitzpatrick with the regroup. Bumps into the referee, mishandles the puck, but Johnstone headed to the bench for a change. Nelson out now. Nelson knocks it free. Nelson and Fox out here together. Nelson recovers that puck again, wraps it around the wall. Nobody's there. Fox headed to the front of the net. Into the neutral zone. Here's Mann. Mann moves it back up for Fox. Fox backhands it to Lawrence. Lawrence knocked off the puck by Mullins. Here's Mullins. Mullins by herself. Puck ends up in the corner. Loose behind the net. Here's Waterhouse. Back into the neutral zone. Fitzpatrick's going to dump it back into the Flames' end. Waterhouse is going to be there first. Here's Man. Man to Fox. Up into the neutral zone. Battle here in front of the benches. McKenzie whips it into the Flames' end. Waterhouse there first. Waterhouse looking good in her second game back after the lengthy arm break injury. Here's a loose puck for Polchis. Polchis takes a shot. And Young will hang on to that. And while the face-off to the right of Young, Folks is going to take it. She's working to work here with Dooland and Sommers. Boursier and Kimball on the blue line. Comes back to Boursier. She just chips it into the corner. Folks will go after it. Now Dooland. Back to Boursier. Boursier shot through all the bodies. High stick there. Nope. No high stick signaled. Guess it was below the shoulders there. Folks got a stick on it. Now Boursier again. Boursier backhands it up the wall. Sommers at the blue line. Tries backhanding it forward. Bounce back in the neutral zone. Cross ice to Boursier. Boursier up the middle to Dooland. Here's Dooland. Dooland has Sommers. Dooland still with it. Dooland to Folks. Scores! Dooland pulled the defender across and got Folks at the back door. And the Flames now lead 3-1 at 4:05. Of the second period. Shots on goal 23-13 in favor of the Flames. Johnstone in to take face-off. She's got Smith on her left and Eason on her right at the moment. Flames play with a mixed number of forwards, so different line combinations coming over the bench on a regular basis. Always having to keep my eyes open for which pairings are out here. Puck pinned along the wall in the Flames' end. Pass out front for a one-timer attempt. Didn't get much on it. I think that was Fitzpatrick. No, it was not Fitzpatrick. It was Citrone. Here's Matheson. Matheson moves it ahead. Walker's still after it. Walker drops it off. Shot from a sharp angle. Ends up in the corner. Here's Smith on the left side. Smith chips it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Bradley. Bradley looks up ice. She finds Lutley. Lutley cross ice to Mullins. Mullins is tied up by Lawrence. Lutley you could see the top corner open that she was looking at, but she misses the net. And here comes the Flames. Here's Fox. Fox loses a handle on it. Fires it towards the net. Loose puck. I thought Young had it. I think she did too. But it's knocked free. Shot by Waterhouse. That misses way wide right. Cook is there. But the Stars knock it free and get it into the neutral zone. Mann's going to pick that one up off the wall, move it up the middle to Lawrence. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence looking for a shot. Doesn't get through. Puck bouncing into the corner. Picked up by Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, long stretch pass. McInnes was breaking up the right-hand side. But the pass didn't make it there. 1:36 remaining in the period. Puck bounces over Mann's stick. Here's Walker. Held in here by Larkin. Larkin fires it deep. Now Player behind the net. Centers it. Spin and fire attempt. That hit Waterhouse in the shins or feet. She went down. Waterhouse down again. That puck ends up in the corner. Player and Walker putting all the pressure on here. We are into the final minute of the second period. Flames leading 3-1 on 23 shots. Big scrum here in front. Loose puck, I can still see it. And finally covered up. A couple Stars decided to put their arms up. No signal from a referee though. Yeomans has that one covered up. So we are 51, and I will realign my clock to reality. 51.6. Face off to the left of Yeomans. Lutley in to take it against Johnstone. Face off tied up in the feet. Picked out by Boursier. Boursier looking to go cross ice to get out of the zone, and she does. Here's Sommers. Sommers knocked off the puck. Back to Boursier again. 36 on the clock. Puck into the Stars zone. Here's Dooland. Dooland shot. Made its way through the defenseman's legs. Good save by Young. Dooland has it on her stick again. Dooland. Now Johnstone. Johnstone gives it up to Boursier. Boursier back to Johnstone. Johnstone had to reach back, just out of her reach. Here's Kimball. Kimball fires from the point. Loose puck. Johnstone has it. 9 seconds on the clock. Johnstone's going to give it back to Kimball. One more shot here. 5 seconds. Boursier shoots. Loose puck. Stab at it. And there is 1 second on the clock, so I will put that on my clock. And we will have a somewhat meaningless face-off here. I don't think much will happen. And that will do it. End of the second period. Western Flames leading the Down East Stars 3-1. Your shots on goal are showing 25-15 in favor of the Flames. I will put you on mute, send you to our wonderful sponsor reel, and I'll rejoin you for the third period. Alright everyone, welcome back. We're just moments away from the third period here. Players queued up at the door waiting for the Zamboni doors to close. And then we'll get underway. Flames leading 3-1 here in the third period. Shots on goal are 25-15 in favor of the Flames. And we're just awaiting here, and there we go. Doors are closing, and here come the Stars, and here come the Flames on the other side. 20 minutes remaining. Flames looking for a much-needed win. Would love to finish the weekend split with the Down East Stars. Stars winners yesterday, 3-1. And we're getting close to getting underway here. All right, looks like we're going to have Lutley in to take the face-off for the Stars. Johnstone for the Flames. Johnstone's got Nelson on the right. Polchi's on the left. Kimball and Borsier, the defense pairing to start. Johnstone wins it over to Nelson. Fitzpatrick turns it over, though. Now Mullins. Fitzpatrick in the neutral zone, chips it ahead. Mullins has it. Mullins dangerous every time with the puck, and she is again this time. Dishes it out front, and the Stars score. Mullins centered it for, I believe, that was Lutley who got the goal. Yup. So, 1935. Of the third period. Let's get my scoreboard updated here. All right. Clock and scoreboard are now correct. 3-2. Stars popping one here early to get right back in it. 3-2 now, the score in favor of the Flames. And we have, that one is blown down. And we'll have a face-off in the Flame zone. Folks is going to face off against Player to the right of Yeomans. Puck's pushed off to the side. Walker comes out with it. Walker, centering puck. Gauvin gets a stick on it. Gauvin up the right-hand side. Fitzpatrick also in on that. Raina Fitzpatrick, that is. I didn't see that, and it's part of the play, so it was indeed Lutley from Mullins and Fitzpatrick. Walker goes down. That's going to be a trip against Gauvin. And now at the 18:45 mark, Stars going right out on the power play now. Nelson and Lawrence are going to be your penalty killers with Kimball and Borsier. Lutley's going to take that face-off on the power play. Mullins back out here with Fitzpatrick and Player. Lawrence comes out with the puck. Lawrence will whip it deep. Nelson's going to put pressure on it. Nelson putting pressure on Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick puts the brakes on. Nelson's still on it. Here's Larkin. Larkin to Player. Player's going to carry it in by herself. Borsier tries pinching her off, but Player's still with it. Fitzpatrick tried to hold it at the blue line, but it skipped past. She puts the brakes on. Nelson knocks it free, but gets too far out of reach. 45 seconds gone in the Stars power play. And they're going to send it for icing. So 107 left in the Gauvin tripping penalty. Stars iced it. And so we'll have a face-off back to the right of Young. Lutley will take it. Johnstone and Cook, the penalty killers now. Face-off. Not really sure if I would say Johnstone won it or not, but it came back the Flames' direction. Wrapped around the boards. Held into the blue line. No, knocked out by Cook. Now sent back. Fitzpatrick's going to have to regroup. Johnstone goes to put pressure on it. Johnstone on Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick had to rush. Still gets it forward. Now Johnstone. Johnstone's going to fire it down. 38 seconds remains in the Stars' power play now. Puck into the neutral zone. Here's Raina Fitzpatrick. Backhands it off to Walker. Walker walking in. Walker walking in. She comes around the left-hand side, tries stuffing it in. And Yeomans will hang on to that. There is now 17 seconds left in the Gauvin penalty. Now Folkson to take the face-off against Walker. Walker wins this one. Back to Citrome. Citrome sends it along the wall. That was McInnes who dumped it behind the net. Now Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick still with it. Sends it back to the point. Shot. Makes its way to the slot. No further. And we're back to even strength. Smith throws it to Gauvin, who just came out of the box. No icing. Young plays it around the left side. Folks is there to pinch it off. Puck's pinned along the wall. Here come the Stars. Gindon backhands it. Oops, sorry, drifted a little too far there. Kimball behind the net to Boursier. Boursier up the left side. Smith hauled down. Didn't make it out of the zone. Now back into the neutral zone. Smith. She just chips it ahead, and she's going to head to the bench. Larkin. Larkin picks it up behind the Stars net. Back into the neutral zone. Lawrence gets a stick on it. Now Lawrence again. Shuffled back to Larkin. Larkin. Pass attempt is broken up. Here's Nelson. Nelson. She's driven wide. Myers backhands it around the net. 15:30 mark of the third period. Flames still leading 3-2. Stars scoring right out of the gates to start this third period to tighten the game up. Puck dumped into the Flame zone. Gets past Gauvin. Gauvin, she's stripped off it. Battle in the corner. Lutley. Lawrence. Lawrence has it. Gets into the neutral zone. Here's Lawrence. She's going to backhand it into the zone and head to the bench for a change. All five Flames changing. Stars will regroup. Came up the left side to Walker. Mishandled. Flames turned it over, but now it's coming back the other way. Foot race. It's going to be Walker against Waterhouse. Walker wins the foot race, but misses the shot. Stars with several breakaway attempts in this game, breaking free behind the Flames defense. Here come the Flames right through the middle. That's Fox. Fox tries stuffing it on net. Johnstone follows it up, but Young will hang on to that. And we are at 14:08. No, sorry, 14:11 of the third period, while the face-off in the Stars' end to the left of Young, and it will be Captain Folks in to take it. She's got Dooland on the left and Sommers on the right. Folks wins it over to Sommers. Sommers fires it from the sharp angle, loose puck. Folks digging at it, and Young will hang on to that one. And this time we'll try a face-off to the right of Young. Stars win the draw. Puck along the wall. Somers puts pressure on it. Fitzpatrick puts the brakes on. Sorry, that's not Fitzpatrick. That's Citron. Dooland, she's taken down. Stars have the puck. Chipped up the wall. Held in by Boursier. Boursier and Kimball working on the point for the Flames. Boursier, shot attempt. Hits a stick and ends up in the corner. Here's Dooland. Dooland behind the net. Dooland dishes it off for Folks. Back to Somers. Now Boursier. Boursier takes a shot. She misses wide right. Somers putting pressure on McGeegan. Comes up around the right-hand side. McKenzie gets it into the neutral zone. Lawrence is there. Lawrence cuts back. Lawrence still with it. Lawrence, 1-on-3, ran out of real estate. Now Somers gives it away to Lawrence. Lawrence in front, backhand, still loose puck. Young covers that one up. Nice cut to the net by Lawrence. Good chance. And Smith there following it up. But Young hangs on to it. 28-18 are the shots on goal. 12:59 of the third period. Puck down below the Stars goal line. Coming up the left-hand side, here's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick still with it. Fitzpatrick centers it. Gets way past Mullen. Icing waved off though. Gauvin has it. Gauvin almost peeled off the puck from behind by Mullins. This time Gauvin sends it up the ice. This one's going to go for icing. And that will come back for a face-off to the left of Yeomans. .12:31. Now in the third period, looks like we'll have Lutley in to take the face-off against Lawrence. Discussion at the bench here, at the Flames bench here in front of me with the back referee. I didn't see. Not sure what the discussion might be. All right, whatever it is, seems to have been resolved. And we will have Lutley face off against Lawrence. Lutley wins it, gets back to the point. Shot attempt, makes its way through. Yeomans hangs on to that one. And we'll have a do-over of that face-off with the new combatant, Johnstone, in place of Lawrence. Johnstone wins it. Gauvin's tied up though. Now Johnstone's battling for it. Loose puck. Makes his way towards the net. Scramble in front. Lutley, shot, scores. And the Stars have stormed back here in the third period to tie it up. 3-3. So some voices yelling about the net being off, and now Coach Graham looking for an explanation from the referee about the net being off. History not in favor of any goal being overturned or no decision being made, or and as usual and expected, referees are not changing their mind. Goal is good. And we have a tie game. Here's Walker. Walker sends it down below the goal line. Kimball's going to be there. Kimball wraps up the left-hand side. Polchis has it. Polchis Polchis keeps it. Polchis still going. She's got Johnstone going to the net. She takes a shot from the sharp angle, bounces the wrong way for Johnstone to get a rebound. Puck's coming back the other way. Arm up for icing. And that one will come back to the Stars' end. 11:44 of the third period, and we'll have a face-off in the Stars' end. Johnstone in to take it for the Flames. Player for the Stars, tied up in feet. And the Stars fish it out. Fitzpatrick spins and fires it into the Flames' end. Kimball backhands it to Boursier. Boursier loses a foot, goes down. Johnstone and Boursier trying to dig it out there. Polchis shows up on the scene. Referee looking to see that puck moved. Finally blows it down. 11-11 here of the third period. Shots on goal. Down East Stars have closed that gap. Shots on goal are now 29-21 in favor of the Flames. We have Folks in to take the face-off. Looks like it's against McGeegan. Puck into the neutral zone. Back to Citrome. Folks just about knocked it free, but Citrome keeps it. Now back the other way. Here's Waterhouse. Waterhouse tried to take a shot. Didn't get anything on it. It ends up in the corner. She follows it up, and now she's backing off to her point. Mann pinches, holds it in. Sends it down along the wall. Folks tries to knock it free. Stars have it. Cook jumped in there. She went down. Here's Citrome. Citrome pushes it up for McKenzie. McKenzie, she's knocked off by Waterhouse in the corner. Waterhouse reverses it. Centering pass. That's almost picked off by Lutley. That could have been dangerous. Cook, she's knocked off the puck in the neutral zone. Cook swipes it in. She's going to head for a change. Flames changed up. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence along the wall. She's knocked off the puck. Now Mullins. Mullins, 1-on-4. Doesn't matter. She's dangerous even in that situation. Lutley tried centering it for Mullins. Flames are breaking out. Here's Sommers. Sommers takes it into the zone herself. Sommers backhands it towards the net. Lawrence got a backhand on it. Feltmate from the point, throws it in. Lawrence tucks it in. Or no. Is the referee saying that she blew the whistle first? Guess so. Crowd unhappy with that. Again, referee's not going to change the mind. She blew it down. So it remains 3-3. Good scramble and scoring attempt by the Flames, but they will have to find a way to do it again. Lawrence and Doolin battling along the boards. Sommers. Stars get it in the neutral zone. Foot race here. Walker and Feltmate. Puck along the wall down here in my blind spot. We'll see what pops out here. And it's Lawrence who pops out with it. Lawrence and Doolin, 2-on-2. Lawrence, sharp angle shot. Young got a glove on it. Knocks it into the corner. Here's Sommers. Sommers dishes it to Doolin in the corner. And we have the Flames go into a power play here. Roughing is the call on Bradley. So, 8:29 of the third period. Flames with a power play chance. Stars win the face-off, but it almost made its way back to Kimball. It didn't. Thought it was going to make its way, but it ends up down in the Flames zone. Here's Boursier. Bourcier's going to pick it up. She puts the brakes on behind the net. Has a look. Boursier comes out the left side. Boursier still with it. She sends it up the left-hand side. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence is pinned out. Doolin's going to pick it up. Doolin loses her edge, goes down. And now we're going to have a Flames penalty. Not sure who, or necessarily for what. A trip, a hold. Looks like it's going to be Lawrence for a hold. So 40 seconds into the Flames power play, the Flames take a holding call, so Lawrence heads to the box. So we'll have a minute 20 of 4-on-4, and then a 40-second power play for the Stars. Captain Folks in to take the face-off for the Flames. Walker in to take it for the Stars. Puck one over to Kimball. Kimball tries getting it around to Boursier. Battle over there against Player. Boursier and Player duking it out. Cook jumps in to help. Now Kimball sends it up the right-hand side. Gets past Folks. Coming back the other way. Now Cook. Cook reverses it again. Now it's coming back the other way again. Here's Walker. Walker looks for a little bit of time and space. Folks chips it ahead. Goes to the bench for change. Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick's going to be pressured by Johnstone. Fitzpatrick gets away from her. Now Nelson. Nelson knocks it free. Nice active stick by Nelson to free up that puck. Here comes Walker again. 20 seconds left of 4-on-4. Puck back to Fitzpatrick at the blue line. Gauvin taking a stab at Player. Fitzpatrick steps past Johnstone, walks in, hits a body. Now here's Nelson and Johnstone. 3 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Now the Stars on a power play for 37 seconds. Folks and Johnstone, your penalty killers. Sharp ankle shot, makes its way to Johnstone. Johnstone fires it down. She's going to head to the bench. 20 seconds now on the Stars power play. 6:07 left in the game. Fitzpatrick way up behind the Flames defense, calling for it. Puck shot towards net, that misses. Cook's going to fire that one into the neutral zone. Citrom gets a stick on it, but we're back to even strength as Lawrence gets out of the box. Here's Folks in the neutral zone. Tries chipping it ahead. Fired across the neutral zone. Boursier pushes it forward. Fitzpatrick with it. Fitzpatrick tries pushing it up. Hits his skate. Long stretch pass. That's picked off by Citrom. Now here's Lawrence. Lawrence, cross ice pass to Cook. Cook loses an edge. Johnstone picks it up, but she goes down too. Now Nelson. Nelson pressuring Walker. Walker still with it. Walker looks out front. She has options. It's loose. Covered up by Yeomans. 4:53 remaining in the third period in this tie game. Stars really pressing here in this third period. Fox will come out and take the face-off for the Flames. Face-off to the left of Yeomans. 30-23 the shots on goal in favor of the Flames. But 3-3 is the score. Less than 5 minutes to go here in the third. Shot from the point. Deflected up into the netting. And we'll have a face-off again here in the Flames zone. 4:40 on the clock. Feltmate and Gauvin come out for the Flames. Nelson, Fox, and Polchis for the Flames. Puck held in the blue line by Larkin. Now Lutley, shot. Goins will hang on to that one. And we'll do that face-off over again. If it stays tied, there is indeed a 3-on-3 overtime. Of course, neither of these teams would like it to go to overtime. Somebody'd like to finish this off in regulation. Here's Dooland. Dooland has Sommers. Sommers slows down just enough to stay onside. Dooland shovels it back to the point. Gauvin. Gauvin has to chip it back along the wall to Dooland. Dooland stick tied up. Folks in to help. Folks centers it to Sommers. Sommers can't get a handle on it. Pushes it to Young, and Young will cover that up. Now 3:57 on the clock. 31-25 the shots in favor of the Flames. Stars really close that gap up. Lawrence is going to take that face-off. She's got Cook on the right, Kimball and Borsier on the point, and I can't see who's over there on the left side. It looks like it might be Fox. It is indeed Fox. Fox cutting into the middle. Fox backhands it towards the net. Now Lawrence. Lawrence still has it. Lawrence behind the net. Tries centering it. It's deflected. Lawrence again in the corner. Player all over her. Here comes Walker. Fox takes a stab at that, knocks it free. Back on the stick of Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick keeps it. Fitzpatrick steps around Borsier onto the stick of Kimball. Kimball fans on the shot attempt, or on the clearing attempt. Puck back to Fitzpatrick again. Down in Borsier's corner. Borsier chips it up the left side to Fox. Fox centers it for Cook. Cook, Shield elected to throw that down into the Stars zone and head to the bench. 3 minutes now remaining in the game. Lawrence trying to cause some pressure down in the corner. She looks gassed, heading to the bench. Nelson fires it towards the net. That misses wide right. Nelson, Johnstone, Polchis out here now for the Flames. Back to the point. Gauvin. Gauvin has to throw it along the wall. Polchis has it. Polchis loses it in her feet. Here comes Mullins. Mullins pushes it ahead for Fitzpatrick. Raina Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick still with it in the corner. Somebody blew a wheel there. It was Feltmate. Here's Polchis. Polchis backhands it to herself. That's going to go far enough, but not for icing. Gains his own. Johnstone second on the scene. Gets past her. Now Sommers. Sommers gets a stick on it. Pushes it ahead. Sommers still putting pressure on it. Stars getting to the neutral zone. Kimball. Right back to Sommers. Now Player. Player curls back. Sends it up the left-hand side. Dooland now. Dooland, Kimball. Kimball. Cross ice to Polchis. Polchis back over to Dooland. Oh, sorry, that's Folks over there now. Here's Dooland. Dooland walks in tight. Loose puck. That one's covered up. And someone's headed to the box. We're taking two to the box. So we have $1:25 left on the clock. And it looks like Player and Sommers will have coincidentals and will continue to play 5-on-5. 4-minute 25 left of regulation here in the third period. 3-3 tie, 33-25, your shots on goal. Folks in to take the face-off. Can't see who she's facing off against there. It was Lutley. Here come the Stars. Shot and they score. 1:12 remaining in the game. And the Stars have taken the lead, storming back with 3 here in the third period from down 3-1. Now leading 4-3 with 1:12 left on the clock. I suspect we might see a timeout. We are seeing the timeout here for the Flames. Indeed we are. The Flames will draw up a play, trying likely to establish the zone and get Yeomans out of the net for an extra attacker. Quite a comeback here in the third period. They started it off right out of the gates too. 15-20 seconds in to the period, they made it 3-2 and haven't really slowed down since. And of course the Flames opportunity where there was a quick whistle, now certainly seemingly more impactful at this point in the game. Here's Doolin. Doolin gains the blue line. Now Nelson. Nelson tries dishing it back to Doolin. It's in the corner. Doolin peeled off by Fitzpatrick. She rips it around the wall to Raina Fitzpatrick. Borsier with the pinch gets past her. Yeoman's never got a chance to get out of the net there. There's now 50 seconds left on the clock. Lawrence dishes it back. Borsier is pressured by Mullins. Mullins wins the puck. She's just going to eat that in the corner. 2 Flames on it. Gauvin trying to knock it free. Mullins, of course, content to just pin that along the wall. She doesn't want that puck going anywheres. And finally, it'll get blown down. 23.7 on the clock. Mullins single-handedly chewing 20 plus seconds off the clock. And the Flames now with very limited clock to play with here. Folkson to take the draw against Lutley. Flames win it. Borsier parks behind the net. Can't really afford much time to make a decision here and get it moving up the ice. Cross ice pass to Folks. Folks will gain the blue line. Here comes Yeomans out of the net. Only 7 seconds left now. Held in. Here comes a shot. Hits shin pads. That's going to the corner. And that, folks, is your game. Definitely a disheartening one for the Flames, with the Down East Stars storming back into the third period with 3 unanswered goals to win 4-3. And that will do it. Flames next few games at a tournament in Toronto. I'm not sure when the next home games are, but we will talk to you at that point. Thanks, George.